Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man.
Hey guys, Kevin here from Washington State. Love all that you're doing with the show. Really appreciate all that I've been learning from you guys. Today, my question here is about mid-ranges and when you guys select to use them. When I first started out the sport, it seemed like disc selection was very easy. Basically, use some sort of driver off the tee, use the mid-range in the middle of the hole, and then when you're trying to put in the change, use a putter. In the last year or two, as I've really started getting into the sport and watching others play, I've noticed that you could use all sorts of discs for different types of shots off the tee, in the middle of the fairway, and as you approach the basket. But also, as I've advanced, I've started using my putters more from within 200 feet. And then outside of that, I tend to kind of jump to my fairway drivers. My question is, when do you guys select to use your mid-ranges? Maybe what sort of circumstances go into that selection? I know right now a lot of them tend to sit in my bag unless it's kind of sitting right in between 250 to 200, maybe, somewhere around there. Like I said, mostly using the putters to approach these days, and I just want to know your guys' thoughts. Thanks.
What you guys got?
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin. I think that's not a bad spot for mid-ranges to sit. If you're confident with your putter inside 200, then mid-ranges for you would just be just outside of that, where you think you'd really have to crank on a putter to get it there, but you'd rather throw, like a comfortable 80% shot and achieve the same sort of flight that you might be able to get from a putter. That's when I think you would want to reach for a mid-range. For us, it really just depends on the shape of the hole for the most part. Distance wise, distance is obviously important, but my philosophy for the most part is I want to throw the slowest disc that I can for the shot. So if for me, if I can throw a Warden, whether it's off the tee on an upshot, I like to, because I'm really comfortable with that disc and the stability of it. Same with an EMAC Truth for me. If the shot is, probably anything inside 350, 340, something like that, I really like throwing a mid-range because I don't need to then back off a fairway driver. I can just hit that mid-range. That's when I like to throw them. Now, things change with the wind and with low ceilings and with the terrain of the green. But for us, I think, the slowest disc that you can throw to accomplish the shot is the one that I like to throw the most.
Yeah, I would agree with that. For me personally, I'll tend to reach for my EMAC Truth a lot more than I reach for my putters.
Right.
I know you
we're
tend to throw the Warden quite a bit, and you throw it well. And I think a lot of that just is comfortability. It's confidence, having confidence in that disc. You do very well at throwing that disc. Me, I've always been a mid-range guy. If I can throw a mid-range, I'm throwing a mid-range.
Right.
I mean, I'll throw it on 400-foot holes.
Yep.
If I have to. I just feel a lot more comfortable than throwing something like a driver, like you had mentioned. And then as far as when I throw my putters, it kind of depends on the line I'm trying to hit, what the green looks like. If I have to overpower a putter, I'm going to tone back an EMAC Truth.
Yep.
It's just easier. I just feel a lot more confident. And that's what it really boils down to. What are you more confident in throwing? What gets you the higher percentage?
Yeah.
That's what you need to stick with.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a guy I played with when I lived in Abilene. His name was Andy. You might have met him from Super beard.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Super cool guy.
I played with him in McKinney a few times.
Yeah. Andy's a great guy. Didn't carry a mid-range. I bet he still doesn't carry a mid-range in his bag. I feel like the slowest thing that he carried was like a Firebird or something just around that range. He just didn't he would jump putt if he was inside, 90 or 100. And if it was anything longer than that, he'd just throw like that. Or I think he had a Z-Force in the bag that he would throw. It's honestly just what he was comfortable with. And so, I mean, if mid-ranges aren't what's super comfortable for you, keep working with them, work with them in the field or whatever. But when it comes to crunch time, if you feel more comfortable throwing a putter, throw that. If you feel more comfortable with a fairway, throw that. I mean, there's a lot of ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Is that what they say?
Yep.
Yeah. More than one way to score in disc golf. It's a lesser known phrase, but equally as
trademark it. Trademark
That's right.
it.
That's right.